what about land? In this video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. I've made a couple of videos talking about Knox County and East Tennessee and what happened with home prices from 2019 to 2025. And this got me thinking, well, what happened to land prices over that same time period? That's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. Let's dive in and get going. Hey, what's up? It's me, Haley Jones, your Knoxville and East Tennessee real estate agent, and I help clients buy and sell homes and land in the East Tennessee and Knoxville area. Now, a ton of my clients want land, or they have land to sell. These are both people that live here, they're from here, or people that are relocating here. Maybe they're retiring. Maybe they want a lake property. Maybe someone here wants a lake property. Everybody wants the land, and everybody wants a mountain view and a creek and a trolley horse, or not really. You know what I'm saying. Okay. That being said, we're going to answer 4 big questions about what happened to land pricing and land sales in general from 2019 to 2025. Now, I also, I don't know why I hadn't thought about this before, but the perception is I find with non-local people, and I do not mean this offensively. The perception is that land in this area in Knoxville is cheap. Now, it could be comparatively, but a lot of times, even local people actually. So I need to check myself before I wreck myself. But even local people start to look for a house, and then they can't find the house they want, and then they think, okay, I'm gonna buy land. And then they see land prices, and then they end up buying a house. I've had that happen with multiple people. And that's just like, the more you know, the better decision you make, right? For you. Now, some people do buy land, and that's their goal, and that they're in it to win it. But they also understand that, like, it's not cheap, right? So anyways, I just want to point that out because I don't know why I didn't think about doing this before, but this whole 2019 and 2025 home pricing thing made me think, like, what did happen to land? So anyways, the other thing I want to say is that this is a data deep dive. So if you are a numbers person, this could be for you. If you're not a numbers person, there is visuals or are visuals, but it's one of my data deep dive videos. And so just brace yourself. Okay. Finally, I want to point out to you that what I've done is categorize land. And this video is Knox County only. So if you want to see surrounding counties, go check out that video. But this video is only Knox County, okay? So both of them have the same breakdown of land type. So we have all land sold. We have anything up to 2 acres. We have anything up to 2 acres categorized with a mountain view. Anything up to 2 acres categorized with a creek. Anything up to 2 acres said to have no restrictions. Anything up to 2 acres said to be waterfront. And then anything 2.01 acres to 10 acres. 10.01 to 30 acres. And then 30 acres to infinity and beyond. Not really, because that would be the entire universe. But you know what I'm saying. Anything above 30. Now, why did I focus on 2 acres? Because I find that most clients I talk to, that's what they're looking for. Especially in Knox County. If you are looking for land in Knox County, you are not looking for a giant parcel unless you are an investor type or you're wanting to homestead, and probably you're going to end up outside of Knox County just because the pricing is not convenient or conducive to a homestead. If you're going over 30, you're probably some type of investor. That's just a side note. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, if you're wanting 30 acres, probably Knox County is not going to be the most financially wise decision, okay? Now, it could be if you buy something like at the low and then you sell it. That could be smart, but I mean, it depends on what you buy it for, right? Anyways, okay. I'm going down a tangent I don't want to go down. Okay, here's the questions we're going to answer. 4 questions. Number 1, did land pricing in Knox County increase as drastically as what we saw with home prices? Home prices went up 86% from 2019 to 2025 in Knoxville. Number 2, are there types of land where pricing grew more drastically than others? in that same time period, 2019 to 2025. Number 3, if I see a property for sale, how close is it likely to sell at the list price? So is there room? Is there some give and take with the list price versus what I should offer or what land is selling for? And this came up this week with a client of mine who he is looking to buy land in Tennessee. And he's wanting to know, like, what's the negotiability on this? So this is a nice stat for that kind of question. And then number 4, how fast is land selling in 2025, now going into 2026 versus in 2019? And finally, I want to tell you this. I pulled from January 1st, 2019 to October 31st, 2019, compared to January 1, 2025 to October 31st, 2025. But Haley, it's 2026. Yes, I know, but when I started making all these videos about pricing, etc., it was the end of November. Okay, so as of right now, we're the very beginning of January, and these take time to pull the numbers. So, and there's other videos going on. So just, it is what it is. That being said, it's the same time period across all videos related to this topic, homes and land. So we're looking at the same time period and comparing. Okay, perfect. All right, number 1, did land pricing in Knox County increase as drastically as home prices? Okay, so yes, actually, and slightly more. So the overall price of all sold properties, sold land from 2019 to 2025 grew by 87%. Remember, we said Knoxville was 86%. So on par, a little bit higher. So just for context, 2019, the average sale price of all land was $103,482. Okay, now brace yourself. The end of 2025, or the average sale price in 2025 on that time period I told you, was $194,028. 87% increase in land price across all land sold in all those categories I mentioned. Up to 2 acres, Mountain View's 2 acres, Creek with the 2 acres, etc. So now, average, get this. This is literally mind-blowing, okay? If we look at the average price per acre, it's 3 times higher. 3 times higher. Okay? So all land, average price per acre in Knox County sold at $72,559.37. In 2025, all land, price per acre, $245,678.94. What in the world? That's insane. So yes, the short answer is yes. Land prices did increase as drastically as home prices did in the Knoxville area. Now, that being said, the second question is, are there types of land that saw more price growth than others? Now, this came about because if you saw the Knox County pricing video, for example, 2019 to 2025, you saw that 2-story plus basement homes soared. They saw a lot more growth, or significantly more growth, than some of the other categories from a pricing perspective. Some sold faster, some did this, some did that. So anyways, I thought, well, of these land categories, are there categories that stood out? And yes, there were. So some categories, their prices went up 2.5 times compared. And this was 2 acres with a mountain view, anything up to 2 acres that had a mountain view. Anything with 2 acres of land with no restrictions. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that in a second. And then anything that has parcels over 30 acres. So the mountain views up to 2 acres, 2.82 times higher. No restrictions, 2 acres up to 2.49 times higher. So that would be 150% increase, right? And then the mountain views is 182% increase. Get this, and I checked this multiple times. 30 acres 3.66 times higher. So that's 266% higher. If we pull those outliers out, we're at 59% higher overall. If you're like, what are you talking about? So these are mountain views, 2 acres, no restrictions, 2 acres still. And then anything over, you can see here, this is the how many times higher. So that gave us like our average change. The average change was here. But if I pull out these in yellow, then that gave me a 59% increase. So if we take out the outliers, it's not as drastic. However, what is that telling us? Okay, so mountain views up to 2 acres. Now, how do they know it's mountain views? Well, people will enter that it's a mountain view. When I say people, I mean agents like myself. If I have a land listing that has a mountain view, I'll go click mountain view. Some of them are seasonal views, etc. Anything said to have a mountain view grew 180%. Ugh. So if you see that mountain view, honey, it's gonna cost you, you know. Okay, and then no restrictions, which I think this is interesting because Knox County includes the city of Knoxville, which by default is restricted because it's within the city limits, okay? So this one, you know, when you hear no restrictions, I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that there's a bunch of land in Knox County that's unrestricted because that's just not true, okay? And when you think unrestricted, you think like, oh, I can put alpacas on it or what, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. It's like freedom, but actually if you're within the city limits, like you have to know what the city requirements are, okay? Okay, so no restrictions. No restrictions continues to be a request I get constantly about land. No restrictions. I want land and I want no restrictions. I want to be able to have my bonfire or shoot my guns or whatever. Totally fine. I get it. Right now, my husband's out back burning cardboard in our 50-gallon barrel. Okay, I understand. I'm just telling you, if you're wanting no restrictions, so does everyone else. Okay, and then finally, 30 plus acres. Now, why might that be such a huge increase? 266% of an increase because population growth. People need housing, and I think a lot of developers have come in here, purchased a bunch of land, paid a premium, and now they're parceling it off, building homes, and selling them. So that is my guess about what's happening with anything over 30 acres. People are not just buying 30 acres and then reselling it for a profit. Well, they are, but they're parceling it off and building homes on. You get what I'm saying. Okay, anyhow. So those categories, 2 acre with a mountain view, up to 2 acres, unrestricted, and anything over 30 saw massive, expansive, insane price increase. Okay, question number 3. If I see a piece of property for sale, how close to the sale price is it likely, or how close to the list price is it likely to sell? So we're talking about sell to list price ratio. Now, if we look at what happened across all categories, we can see that 2 categories as of walking into 2026 are selling over list price. And that would be on all land in general, as well as anything up to 2 acres. Anything up to 2 acres in 2019 was selling at 92% of the list price. So there was about an 8% wiggle room. Anything up to 2 acres in Knox County walking into 2026 is selling 4% over asking. Okay, so this goes to my point about people wanting 2 acres. They're gonna pay, they want it and they're gonna pay for it. Anything under 2 acres, they're gonna pay for. Categories, the only category we saw a decrease was waterfront, which I think is interesting because the price per acre on waterfront went up 2 times. And then also the days on market on waterfront went down significantly. So I think it's interesting that there's actually more negotiability on the price of waterfront property walking into 2026. We saw that the other thing that's interesting is if you look at 30 plus acres, average sell to list price was 70% in 2019. and now it's 85%. So that's a 15% increase. So theoretically, if you see a property that's been listed 30 plus acres, there's about 15% wiggle room on average with that list price to what you could buy it for, what the data is saying. Now, we're not talking about human dynamics here. We're not talking about the seller's goals and all that. I'm just telling you on average, 30 plus acres selling at 85% of that list price. So there is some good margin there, right? Listen to this. Back in 2019, unrestricted under 2 acres was selling over list price by 1%. And now today, in 2026, unrestricted under 2 acres in Knox County is still selling over list price by 1%. So we didn't see a change there. But again, that just tells you that is high demand. People are going to pay for that no restriction option. So anyways, I think that's interesting. That gives you some, and if you're like specifically want the breakdown, then check out those numbers. But pretty much everybody saw an increase. All land, anything above 2 acres saw an increase. Mountain Views saw an increase. 2 acres with a creek saw an increase. 2 acres with no restrictions saw an increase. 2 to 10 acres, 10 to 30, and 30 plus saw increases. All of them. The only one that went down was that waterfront, and that was just by 2%. So anyhow, I think that's interesting. So what's the point of me sharing that with you? Number one, it's just showing like there is demand here for land. But number two, if you're looking at a large parcel, you're going to be able to get a discount on that from the list price. But pretty much everything else, especially with the 0 to 2 acre category, is selling very close to list price. So there you go. All right, finally, number 4, how fast is land selling now versus 2019? This one is insane. Okay, so yeah, we saw that prices went up. We saw that there was, we saw this increase in pricing for land. If we take out the outliers, on average about 59%. If we include the outliers, it was 87%. So on par with what happened with housing prices. Now listen to this. For land, on average in 2019, land was selling in 7.5 months, 225 days. Yeah, 225 days, 7.5 months. Walking into 2026, on average, land is selling in 2.5 months. It's 5 months faster to sell land now than it was in 2019. So that is 225 days down to 71 days. That's minus 154 days, minus 5 months. It's selling 5 months faster now. What? Isn't that crazy? Now, what's selling the fastest? Waterfront. Waterfront is selling in 38 days on average. And in 2019, waterfront was selling in 231 days. Woo! That's more than the average back in 2019. And now it's basically 2 months less almost than what the average time is now. So we saw a huge shift in what happened with waterfront. Here, I'll circle it. I'll make it yellow on the graphic, but see this waterfront? Woo! That's crazy. Now look at this one too. 30 plus acres from 422 days to 159 days. That's 263 days less to sell 30 plus acres. So, takeaways. Yes, land prices have increased on average across all categories, on par in Knox County with home price increases from 2019 to 2025. Land is selling more quickly in 2025 and going into 2026 than it was compared to 2019 by 5 months. The price per acre is 3 times higher than it was in 2019. So we saw significant changes in what happened with the landscape of land for sale in the Knoxville area, and also that price per acre on average 3.39 times higher. So that's like 240% higher, right? So land in Knox County, if you see a parcel that you like, take action. because someone else is going to take action too. And by all means, I feel like I need to say this disclaimer. No restrictions. I've made videos about this. Go check them out if you want to know about no restrictions. But because this video is specific about Knox County, by default, if it's within a city limit, it's restricted. Like, it's got city restrictions on it. Now, you might be talking about like deed restrictions. Can I do this? Can I do that? Blah, blah, blah. But when we get into the city, we've got certain zoning codes, etc., things you can and cannot do, things you can and cannot build, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So if you see a piece of property listed for sale within Knox County city limits, well, how would I know? Because there's gonna be two taxes, a county tax and a city tax. Where can you see that? You can see that on Zillow. You can go to the Knox County property assessor website, look up the parcel, look up the address, and it's going to tell you what the taxes are. If you see two taxes, city and county, then it's in the city limits, period. So if you're wanting unrestricted, my suggestion is that you only look at county only properties. That being said, proceed with caution. Okay, proceed with caution when you see that, no restrictions. And also note, again, you're going to be paying a premium for that designation. So because you're paying a premium, you want to be extra special and extra especially careful that you actually know if you can do what you want to do on the land. Could you probably sell it at least and break even? Probably, based on the demand. But I'm just saying, be careful, okay? And if you have questions about what the hell am I even talking about, then just call me, okay? Again, my name is Haley Jones. I am your local Knoxville and East Tennessee real estate agent. I will help you buy and sell homes and land and all the things in the Knoxville and East Tennessee area. As always, please remember that I do make these videos so that you will call me so that I can work with you. So if you don't have an agent or you need an agent, I would like to be your agent. So call me. That's the whole purpose of this. I'm not going to cold call anyone. Don't worry. And I won't blow up your phone. We'll get business done. We get it done. Okay. So also click subscribe and, cause I've got so much more to share with you. That being said, I'm Haley Jones and I'll see you on the next video.